So I'm presenting on the efforts we are making at modernizing our breeding program in Ghana. And I'm Maxwell, and my colleague is Samuel. So we are both rice breeders in CSIR. I'm based in CSIR-Crops Research Institute, which is in Kumasi, in the middle part of Ghana, and Samuel is based in the northern part of Ghana. So as a way of introduction, rice is a very, very important crop in Ghana now. It's the fastest growing food source, and we eat about 40 kg per person per year. But we are able to only meet 50% of our demand. And about $500 million US worth of rice is imported every year to fill the demand, the gap between demand and supply. And as you can see, for a small country like Ghana, that's a lot of money. And the reason why this is happening is that though our production has increased about 30% since 2010, it's basically due to increase in area and under cultivation. Genetic gains on farmers' fields, as you can see here, has been mostly static. Okay, so then it is where the EIB comes in. So we have an MOU with EIB to help us modernize our operation and to be able to increase the genetic gain on farmers' fields. So this is how it started. In January 2020, there was a baseline assessment of our breeding program, and then a customized development plan was done for us. And these were the priority areas, priority and quick win areas that were identified. We had to do market segmentation, and we had to define our product profile, and then we also had to select our core set of early germplasm that we will focus on as our core parents. And then we also introduced genotypic quality control and quality assessment of all our crosses. So all our F1s goes through this quality assessment. And then we were also able to do QTL profiling of our core elite lines. And then we are digitalizing our operations. We are done RGA chamber, which we are planning to expand in 2021. So for those who are not familiar with RGA just means rapid generation advance. It is just a system where a breeding method where you are able to go through many cycles within a year. So and we are also restructuring our breeding pipelines. So the restructuring, it goes in this form. Originally, Samuel based in Tamale will do his own thing, and I'm based in Kumasi will do my own thing. Even though we are both CSIR institutions, Ghana is not that a big country. So we have harmonized our operations under this project, and then I'll be the breeding lead in charge of developing the lines. A market, Samuel will be more like a market phase breeder. So we have gone through the market segment with support from people along the value chain, were gender sensitive. Many ladies were involved, and our market segment is aromatic long grain, and we are focusing more on the irrigated and rain-fed lowland, where about 90% of rice is cultivated in Ghana. So, but for the geographical areas, those areas in green are the areas that we are focusing on. And then we are replacing this aromatic, the variety we are targeting to replace is this aromatic variety we call Agra rice, which has about 70% of market share, but it has weaknesses in being susceptible to rice yellow mottle virus, rice blast, and then it also lodges. So going through the product design with the design team, we were able to come out with our product profile. And then for our germplasm, as I mentioned earlier, we have been able to define our core set of germplasm, which is 104 elite lines, which we have put nicely in the Ghana map, in the Ghana map here. And then we have aligned all our crosses towards the product profile, and we are only making good by good crosses. That's elite by elite, and it's really going to help us. So as I mentioned earlier too, we have also introduced genotyping into our program. We are doing this with the support from IPCA. I think I saw Jam Marcel online. He supported with this IPCA project. We are under that project doing QTL profiling of all our lines at a centralized genotyping system at Intertech. And then all our new crosses are targeted towards this profile. And then our F1 goes through the QA/QC test. And then we are also doing mass at F2. And also because we are so big on aroma, and we have very good aromatic varieties on the field already, which are susceptible to disease. We also have a backcross introgression program where we are introducing rice yellow mottle virus and blast resistance into elite background. These will help cut down the cycle that we use for breeding to improve our selection intensity, and it will improve the selection accuracy as well. So as a way of an example, this is the genotyping results we will typically obtain from Intertech. All these lines here are top aromatic varieties. So you can see they have the favorable allele for the fragrance gene. Okay, and these ones down in yellow are F1s. So you can see that they are heterozygote for F1. But you can see one here, which was supposed to be an F1, which still has this, which is homozygote for the aroma gene, and therefore it is clearly not a hybrid. And that is the power of the markers, because without the markers, it will be difficult to identify that this one was not a true F1. And then for digitalization of our operations, what we used to do is to use labels like this, where we have handwritten labels. We write our data on paper and we transcribe them onto a laptop. And that this, under the support from EIB and other partners, Crops to End Hunger projects, we are helping us to digitize our operations. We have acquired this equipment, printers, handhelds, devices, etc., which will really help to improve our selection accuracy. So as I mentioned earlier, there was a team here to assess our program. So this is our chamber here that we call our RGA chamber. It was assessed, and then through the restructuring, we have designated it as the centralized breeding line development facility in Ghana. So we develop the lines here for both the south and for the north. But at the moment, we virtually have capacity to do only about 3 crosses a year, because we have to do all the advancement in the chamber. But through the support of the partners, we are going to expand it to be able to do at least 15 crosses annually, and then from then on, I think we can also improve. So we now have a centralized breeding facility for both CRI and CSIR, which is based in the north. And then there will be a seed inventory and processing will be upgraded through the support we are also receiving from our partners. So with these few words, I will say a big thank you to our partners, Excellence in Breeding, High Impact Rice Breeding, Crops to End Hunger Africa Rice. IPCA project has been of great support. And then they have also installed, IBP has installed the BMS here for us to use. Thank you very much for your attention.
All right, great. Thank you, Maxwell. Please stay on video. We have about 8 minutes or so to take some questions. So I'm going to ask, if you would like to ask a question, you can, let me share my screen. You can keep your screen up if you'd like, or you can stop it. It's up to you, Maxwell. But I'm going to share my question instruction slide. Okay. So in a moment, you'll see that there are 2 shared slides. You can double click on the one that you would like to show up in large on your screen. It takes a second. Oh, Maxwell's is gone. Okay, so if you do have a question, you could please click session, click chat and then session and put it in the sessions. But we would like to open it for live video questions. And so if anyone has a question they would like to ask, please request to share your video and we'll let you on one by one. So I know several people had asked to share their video and unfortunately we had to reject you in the middle of the other sessions, but you're welcome now to ask a question on video. Okay, well, while we wait for somebody to request a video question, Maxwell, you mentioned a couple of times that gender sensitivity was a key aspect of the project, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about what tools and methods you used in your project to ensure that.
Yes, thank you, Adam. So as I mentioned earlier, previously the breeder would have developed his breeding goal on its own under this design. We included people from along the value chain, and the women were very important. We are the gender specialist on it. We have extension people who are women, because in Ghana it's mainly the women who do the cooking. Okay, so grain quality aspects are very important to them, and therefore when you have them in there, they bring those perspectives. So they really brought in the perspectives of grain quality and the texture of cooked rice, etc., which informed the development of our product profile. So it's very valuable to be gender sensitive. Otherwise, you miss some perspectives that will affect your product in the field.
Okay, great. Thanks, Maxwell. We do have one video question and a couple in the chat, so I'll turn on a video. Our colleague Sarah has a question. So Sarah, I think you should be live.
Yeah. Hi, Maxwell. That was a really nice presentation. Sorry, my video is apparently out at the moment, so I can't turn it on.
Thank you, Sarah.
I have a question for you about the value that you see in the QC genotyping. So how much error have you found in terms of an F1 that really was not what you thought it was in terms of its pedigree? So what is your error rate that you've been able to essentially eliminate through the use of QC genotyping?
Yeah, so far we have been 70% accurate.
Okay,
yeah,
so that's 30% error that you're able to track,
yes,
and
30%
make sure it isn't carried through in terms of the breeding program. That's a really good example. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sarah. We have a couple of questions in the chat section, and one is from our colleague Gary Atlin, who I think is with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And he says, Maxwell, fantastic presentation. And he's asking, at what stage do you, what stage do you now select most of your parents, and how long is your breeding cycle?
Okay, so we are able to do 2.5 times a year. Okay, and he said that at what stage do we select our breeding lines, our core parents? Please repeat that part of the question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. At what stage do you now select most of your parents, and how long is your breeding cycle? Was Gary's question.
Yeah. So I think I've answered the breeding cycle part of it. So at this stage, what we have been able to define is our core, our core parental lines, and those are what we are using at the moment. So in future, we will now be able to select lines we find very, very useful at the various stages of advancement. But now what we have done is to define our core set of founder lines based on the QTL profiles and the phenotypic data that we have. So it's more like restarting our breeding program in a way, because this is the time that we have really defined our core sets of funda like based on the genotypes.
Okay, thanks, Maxwell. We have about 3-4 minutes. If anybody wants to request a video question, that's great. We have another question in our chat from Michael Friedman, who asks, how do you select for aroma, and is it highly heritable?
Yes, so luckily, as I showed in that slide, we have a very good marker for aroma that helps us to select for the desirable allele. But in the absence of that, we can use potassium hydroxide. You put some amount of the leaf in a test tube, then you put some potassium, about 10 ml on it. Then after 10 minutes, you can smell. What the potassium hydroxide doesn't change color or anything. What it does is that it reduces the scent of the chlorophyll, so that you can smell the aroma. So you can easily smell aroma in the leaves. You can also chew a few seeds at the time that it has developed seed, to be able to know whether it's aromatic or not. But it is not easy for everybody to identify that. You have to have a trained panel who are able to identify that. And then aroma likely is highly heritable. It's controlled by an energy.
Great, thank you, Maxwell. Okay, we have about 1 minute left in your part of the session, Maxwell. So we'll take one more question from Teresa Heitman, who we've worked with as a continuous improvement trainer, and she asks, "What are your goals for genetic gain year over year?" Did you get the question?
Can I repeat it, please?
Sure. What are your goals for genetic gain year on year, year over year?
Year on year, we are targeting 0.8 to 1%.